Fantastic. This is Anna from To Be Confirmed. We're looking at a school alumni project, nice and emotional, nostalgic thing, but also content writing and all sorts of other things. Okay, where were you at the start of the course then? What were you thinking? What did you want to achieve?
At the start of the course I had an e-tail website, a retail website, then I realised very, very quickly that it wasn't going to be a goer because there was so much competition doing exactly the same thing.
We've not ruined it for you.
Well, there was other influences as well, but I decided
Right.
I decided very quickly that perhaps I should just learn generally about how to write.
Right. You're not letting anyone off?
No,
Right.
it's just a
only yourself.
one-man band. So, but I learned why that wasn't going to work.
Okay, and what was the issue around that business? Where was it at, and why did you think that hadn't got a future then?
Well, there was an offer. The product offer was identical to everybody else's.
Right.
And I was restricted, and I couldn't really add many things in. And then the parent company of the product range that I was selling asked us not to sell directly. So it was completely, it was like the rug was pulled from under me. So.
Right.
Very quickly I realised...
So there's a bit of long tail and all sorts in that, isn't there?
Yeah. I had thought straight away to make it more specific, make it more community based, learning about the Web 2. Yes,
yeah.
That's the way I was starting to move, and then I realised it wasn't going to work because of the other influences.
Right.
So I've applied my learning to the things I might do for other clients.
Right. Yeah.
And in particular this one.
Or if and when you do get into online retail further on, you kind of can implement some of those ideas.
Oh yeah, lots of the learning.
Not spend too much time. Okay, so tell me about the alumni project and what you sort of discovered about that, and because that kind of grew as we did the course.
Yeah, it grew from a prospect of a
quite
job.
Exciting, really.
Exactly. I looked at why would people want to join an old boys or old girls association from their school, which is basically what the alumni is.
Yeah.
And it's very much an emotional decision. It's very much kind of, well, it ties in with the community thing like Facebook, people and friends reunited, people wanting to find out where are they now, what are they doing. Sometimes they want to brag about how well they've done.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just basic friendship they're looking for. So a lot of the way Web 2's moving, the community-based thing, the social networking, it's bringing it to a head. But the schools are not all on there.
Yeah.
Some of
them
them
missing a trick, really, aren't they?
And there's a lot of schools where they feel they've got an extra offer to offer their ex-pupils.
Yeah.
A little bit more selective, more special. So this is why there's still a lot of potential for an alumni
So there's a lot of
association.
goodwill that they could extract, but also this idea that we're exploring today of that a business, it's easiest to sell to your previous customers.
Yes.
Which I kind of really like that idea. Well, naturally, your kids would go there.
And there's different things that we want to sell to people through an alumni association.
Yeah.
There's different levels of involvement. Which like there's a passive level where people can just find out who's what, look at a few pictures, perhaps get a newsletter if they register.
Yes. So that was one of the things that I think you did best on this course was your kind of your linear path,
right?
Which seemed to make a lot of sense. Fortunately, we've not got it up, but this idea. You've actually written it down. Fine. Was this nice soft landing at the end? At the end. It's using the sort of the emotional left-right brain switching, soft landing, passive, fantastic. Talk us through some of that and what you found out about that.
Well, to start off with, to get them on the home page, and again, we'd have links coming in from places like Facebook, from Friends Reunited, and from the main school site where people are looking at just general, where to send their children type of information. Yeah. So it links in, you get onto the home page, reassure that the visitor they're in the right place.
Yeah.
Straight away tell them that they've got different things they can look at. There's news, there's pictures with the tags. We've found out from the eye tracking and the heat plan, heat maps, that people don't really look at pictures for very long. They'll read the captions. Yeah. But if there are faces, and it is an alumni thing, they might want to know. And then it's like, where are we?
Faces would be very sticky.
Yeah. Where are they now? And you're looking for your year group, and there's lots of links onto other sites, lots of cliffhangers. Find out who's doing the so and so, who's just run the New York Marathon. The type of things that tempt people to read a bit more. So, and then there's check out our forum. There's perhaps a quiz, how to join friends. There's different wins that you can have on every single page. I want them to know that they can register, get a newsletter, they can upload their own information, perhaps take part in a forum, perhaps go to an event face to face. It's a different level. They can come and talk to the pupils like a mentor, or just give a careers talk. or they could do the fundraising.
I really like this idea. Yeah, you got this this idea of it's not a yes no, it's a which one. And,
yes, that's the
you would at
levels.
least want to do this one to just have a look.
Now this came up during the course of the course.
Yeah.
The idea for this.
Right.
So then I developed it halfway through. So yeah, it's been really useful.
Because I think, as we discussed before, I think this would be a great business opportunity for you because it combines the social networking side, which I don't doubt that you're extremely good at, even if you're not doing that much online yet. It's that kind of people side of it, with content writing, with geeing up interest in events, with you know, building the community side and creating a site that's linear path and interesting content for people. It could be a great service that you could offer to, you know, schools and any old institution.
This is what my action plan is really, to work this up. Perhaps mock it up into a site and actually present it to well, this is my old school.
As like a package,
exactly. And then perhaps do other ones, you know, either franchise them out or I could run a few of them.
And the idea is that perhaps that, you know, rather than paying for the package, well, perhaps they pay a certain amount up front and then you support the whole process for a year or a couple of years.
And the news gathering and the actual maintenance of it, you just need somebody onto it all the time, really. You can't just leave it for weeks and weeks. You've got to refresh the content and make it interesting.
Yeah.
So
and maybe out of the equation, you remember when we talked about equating things, maybe if you could equate that for the cost of just one extra person, you know, the fees that one extra person would generate, that's what this thing would cost to run for 2 years. Well, it can't fail to generate at least one new, you know, kind of.
So it's like doing the sums and actually presenting it as a sort of a
as a sort of business, monetising. I really like that idea. So I like the idea of a package. I like the idea of community. I like the idea of monetising it so that they can understand what it kind of means. I think people will respond to that very well, much better than perhaps than I have this range of abilities. What do you think? You know, it's something usable that they can kind of get hold of it. Well, you've kind of said where you go from here, really, but just sort of summarise it for me, really. What's going to happen next then?
I shall be approaching schools with this. I shall be working up the actual content, looking at ideas there. And also using the things I've learned for other applications, not just for an alumni, but for other things as well.
Content writing, you seem to take to really well.
I've got a couple of associates, colleagues who let holiday property, and it was quite strange that we did the Whitby holiday cottages as part of the course, but very much like that. It's what to do with our properties. So doing things like the Google, the words ad search, the words. And I've done a little bit down here with the actual holiday words in there. That's very important, and that's something that I'm being pushed to do quite quickly.
Fantastic, that was superb. Any questions?
Yeah, well, it's not a question so much as a comment. When you said that it's an alternative to the Facebook and the Friends Reunited, the fact that it's more special, more unique, a bit more of a club. You know, because it is just those people who went to that school rather than everybody.
This is a tribal thing, isn't it? Because Facebook's got everybody on, but you don't care about anyone else, do you? Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there is a very small sort of group from this school on Facebook that are trying to set something up, but you can see by the dates and the chat that it's just not taken off.
There's not much going on.
I think it actually needs somebody to keep pulling it together and writing the content, and you know, it's not.
And I think that's a very good point about communities, is that unless you're very lucky and perfectly achieve something where everybody's looking for it but nobody's done it yet, most of the time communities take pump priming and they take some time to build. I think your biggest job is getting schools and universities or whoever you go and take this package to understand that these things don't happen overnight. They take a while to get the connections to join again and get to reconnect people, and that's why they need to pay you to do it, because you're going to have to pump time into making that happen. You know, it's not, you're not buying a website.
It's gradual, isn't it?